of Fearless's base. And there we go. We
Finally,
do see some Guardian Shields going down here.
You heard me talking about it, I think.
Exactly, which is going to be very useful against this Terran army because, of course, the Guardian Shield only helps protect against ranged units, which right now every unit in the Terran army is a ranged unit. So that Guardian Shield going to be helping out a lot. And as you can see, the combined fire from all these Immortals taking that Thor down so quickly. And again, he is focus firing down a command center, which seems like a bit of a waste.
Here comes his army.
Yeah, exactly. Fearless's army is coming back into play now. And I don't think that there is enough from Dekator at this point to hold off the remaining forces. I think he would have been better served moving up into Fearless's base and trying to take out as much of his tech as he possibly could. Although it looks like another BC is going to be microed down.
Use Guardian Shield. There we go.
Guardian Shield going up right now. Although it looks like those sentries all got focus fired down. Only the Immortals left, and those go down as well.
So he just did not have enough air units to take out those BCs.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are 3 Thors in the mix here as well. So at this point, a very, very scary Terran army to deal with, as they have a lot of meat shields in the mix with a bunch of tanks, Vikings, and Marines.
Yeah, and I think the decision of Dekator not to expand to the island base is going to hurt him in the long run.
Yeah, you can see that up in the upper left here, Fearless does have 1 Viking scouting that out, and there, of course, is no base up there for the Protoss. Although he has tried to double expand here at the bottom, taking the natural and the main base at the 6 o'clock position. The natural did not have any probes at it. That's going to be focus fired down. A handful of probes over at the main base, but it looks like the Terran army from Fearless is going to move down in here and finish this base off as well. So after this is gone, the only base that's going to be left is the high yield, which is getting mined out as we speak. So he's going to need another base here very quickly, or he could be in trouble.
And what do his resources look like right now?
Looking at the resource overlay, it looks like he's actually in a bit of trouble as well. Although Fearless also surprised to see with his stockpile, although he does still have a pretty good sized army, Fearless only has 18 minerals right now, which is not going to leave him a whole lot of options as far as production goes.
But it does look like he's moving his command centers off those islands to start mining those 2 bases.
Right, he is moving his command center, so he will be able to continue to mine here. Although, actually, at this point, does he have any SCVs? That is the... Oh, okay, using the ability of the mules here. I totally forgot about that for a second. But the mules, of course, able to be called down from the command center. And actually, you know what? I'm surprised here. RipItUp does have some probes left. I'm surprised his ally did not send him enough money to build another Nexus and get back into this game.
RipItUp left the game shortly, a couple minutes ago.
Oh, did he? Okay, I did not notice that. I'm sorry. But anyways, a decent-sized army from Fearless left here. 3 Thors, 3 battle cruisers, and then, of course, a handful of tanks, Marines, and Vikings.
Now, let me ask you a question, Akai. Could Dekator use those red probes to mine money for himself now?
No, he could only use those red probes to mine money for his ally,
I see.
RipItUp. So if he were to give RipItUp money so that he could build a Nexus for him, he would be able to get that base back up and running for him, but he would only be able to spend that money on buildings for his ally. He would not be able to spend it on himself. And looking at Fearless, he has spotted the expansion for Dekator that has gone up on the left-hand side. And it looks like he's moving out, but Dekator is not moving out to defend this right now. This could be lights out for Dekator if he's not able to get this defended relatively quickly here. Yeah, that is gone. So that was his last expansion. And as you can see, he has no more resources right now. So it's basically army against army, and he's going to need to make a pretty big dent in this army in order to do anything else in this game, because at this point he is not mining and Fearless is. So he's going to need to take this army out and then really quickly move out and try to take out the expansions for Fearless before he's able to get too much of an army back up. Although it doesn't look like he has got enough to take on this Terran army at this point. The last 2 battle cruisers and 1 Thor standing tall after that attack from the sentries and Colossi.
Yeah, that was a very close battle there, but he still did not have enough anti-air units to take out those battle cruisers. Very ground heavy army there.
Absolutely, and it looks like only a handful of probes left, being the only units. If we take a look at the units overlay here, I'm sorry, that's the spending overlay. The units overlay here, you can see all he has is 25 probes. And of course, he has not taken the island base in the upper left here. He has no other mining expansions right now, so he is going to be reduced to long distance mining and hoping that he can get up enough money to actually take on Fearless at this point. Although looking at the income right now, Fearless has a decent income, so he's going, and of course he does have some battle cruisers and Thors left still, so he is going to be able to continue to attack, push his advantage, and continue to build units, while Dekator is limited to the units that he has left, which are only probes at this point.
Yeah, I think we should see a GG anytime here. Fearless still is mining those 2 bases down there, while Dekator is not mining anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And 13, as a Protoss player up against this Protoss Terran mix, what do you think the 2 Protoss players could have done to better counter what Fearless and his ally Protoss were doing in this game?
Well, I think I mentioned it before. He wasn't using enough abilities with those sentries. Those are such a huge advantage when you have the amount of them like that. You can use the force field to block off the infantry, or use the Guardian Shield just to protect your whole army there. And I think he went just a little too ground heavy in his army too. The Colossus and the Immortals will dominate any ground force, but they just weren't enough to take out those battlecruisers.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think it would have been nice to see some Void Rays in the mix for those battle cruisers. Of course, we saw RipItUp going mass Void Rays, which was a little bit overkill, but at the same time, he did not, when there was more battle cruisers on the map, he was not able to have any Void Rays against them. I think Void Rays would have helped there immensely. Another thing I would have liked to see, because I don't see it used very often, is a few Phoenix in the mix using the Graviton Beam for the higher units on the ground army, such as the tanks and the Thors.
Yeah, I think that's correct too. Protoss players don't use Phoenix hardly at all. You're starting to see them use them a lot more against Zerg players because Mutalisks are dominating Protoss basically at this point in the beta. So I think you're going to see more Phoenix for that purpose, but you don't see them very often when it's a Protoss versus Terran.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I would like to see more of as the beta evolves and moves along. And it looks like the players kind of bantering back and forth a little bit. So I'm not sure if they're going to be keeping an eye out for this VOD. I'm not sure if Virtualis is going to be telling them that this is going to be up. We're in a LAN house. So apparently they have a bunch of people around watching him get rocked 2v1. But
nothing more embarrassing than that.
Absolutely. But anyways, so that's pretty much the game at this point. There is nothing left to do. As you saw earlier, RipItUp already did GG, and there is nothing that Dekator can do at this point. RipItUp even saying, "I feel so ashamed."
Yeah, I thought this game was going to be over pretty quick, but the Purple Terran took it out.
Fearless was able to do some serious damage with his very, very diverse army mix. And once again, a very epic game lasting nearly 45 minutes according to the replay timer here. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching. 13, thank you for joining me. And it looks like we've got a nuke going off somewhere. It's going to be on the cannon. So as we are watching this nuke come down on the cannons, 13, any last words?
It was a good game, man. I'm glad you asked me to commentate this with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, everybody. Recommend this channel to anybody that you think might want to watch some HD StarCraft beta footage. GG.
GG.